Hello, my fair weathered data friends. Today, I just want to take a quick minute to talk about and review the Databricks 2026 Data and AI Summit that just happened. I wasn't there, so you can take what I say with a grain of salt. But I kind of read through, was watching when everybody's talking about the talks, the product releases, whatever, and I just wanted to give you my take on what's important and what's not. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff released. Basically, I would kind of put them into two categories mostly. One, a bunch of AI stuff. There's some ontology, different things like that, semantic layer stuff, whatever. We can mention it, but I don't think that's a big a deal. The AI stuff, you knew it was coming. Whatever, a little bit of meh from me on that stuff. And then there were some other things, though, that kind of came up I thought were pretty cool, namely some stuff around compute, some real-time, low-latency stuff in the Lakehouse, as well as there's some talk around combining OLTP with OLAP, basically transactional versus analytical systems becoming one. There's a little bit of controversy going on there, but again, what's a big deal? What's the future architecture, whatever the big ideas coming out? I would say not so much on the AI side, but in the actual data platform side, as far as what's happening inside the lake houses that we use every day as far as latency and usage of the lake house. We'll get into it. Anyway, actually, the number one thing I put on my list was Zach Wilson, the one and only Zach Wilson. He went to the Data and AI Summit this year, which last year, you can go check this out on LinkedIn. It's public. He was kind of mad at Databricks, said, I ain't coming, man, whatever. This year he was there. That's cool. I like Zach. I like Databricks. I'm glad they're getting along. Okay, so the next two things I want to talk about that I think you should pay attention to, or you'll probably see more stuff come out from the summit, is something called the Lakehouse RT, aka Raiden. And then that is one big one that's like low latency queries, etc. on top of the Lakehouse. When I say low latency, I mean like millisecond. We'll talk about why that's a big deal. And then also LTAP. So basically a combination of OLAP and OLTP, so transactional. Typically in the data world, we've had two separate sides of the world, the transactional system, the analytics system. Databricks is saying, hey, we don't need that anymore. We have the architecture to support one thing called LTP, LTAP. Sorry, I've been saying the other two for like 30 years, so this one kind of hard to learn. Basically mean they're collapsing transactional and analytical into one thing. And just so you know, not everybody's happy about this. If you go on LinkedIn, man, people are kind of mad about the new LTAP system. They're kind of mad about that. But let's start off with the Lakehouse Real-Time RT. You'll probably see people start talking about this more. This is kind of what I was most excited about, honestly. This was the big one to me, the big release. Obviously, this has been a problem if you've worked in data, this sort of like the separation between requirements for near real-time, extremely fast speeds on top of the lakehouse where most of the data lake is stored. This has been a problem, quote unquote, for a while. It's just that most of the architectures, and I know there's exceptions that, at scale, these lake houses are just meant for analytical loads, meant for Spark. That's been changing. Just longer query times, longer latency. It's just hard to support low latency things on top of a lakehouse, quote unquote, without plugging in a bunch of tools, third-party extensions, third-party tools on top of your lakehouse. It's expensive, whatever. It just hasn't been plug and play. There's always been a problem there. So what do they call it? Databricks said we're introducing Lakehouse RT, which is Databricks' new real-time data warehouse designed for operational analytics, BI, and app serving. They mean AI serving and observability and workloads. Lakehouse RT is powered by Raiden. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It's a breakthrough new engine for real-time workloads that require immediate responsiveness at high concurrency on top of the Lakehouse architecture. Does that make sense? Very low latency, extremely high concurrency. Call it real-time if you want, whatever. On top of the Lakehouse, Databricks is saying we're doing this by a new engine called Raiden. I mean, they're saying 16 times faster than existing real-time serving layers, latency as low as 10 milliseconds, sub 100 millisecond performance on large data sets, 12,000 queries per second while maintaining low latency. Yeah, it's impressive, especially if this is built into Databricks. This is sort of game-changing a little bit. You don't have to install a new technology necessarily. You don't have to buy a third-party tool and layer on top. It's just there on top of your lakehouse. Again, it's slowly being rolled out. I'm trying to get access to it. I've been told I'll get access to it soon. They're working on it. I want to test it out and see what's happening, how real it is. Of course, the people on LinkedIn are kind of mad about it, saying, hey, this is nothing new. Yes and no. This has been a problem in the Lakehouse. It's nothing new if someone goes buys your tool, but the all-in-one Lakehouse platform, which Databricks is known for, being able to serve millisecond latency on top of that extremely large data sets, it's kind of a big deal. Like it or not, you may like Databricks or not, you may argue that technology has been there, yes or no, in some form or another. If you tried, yeah, for sure. But at the same time, Databricks doing it, they're going to do a good job. They already have most of the Lakehouse market. The fact that they're offering this, it'll be super interesting to see. It'll just explode the possibilities of what people can build on Databricks on top of their Lakehouse. Again, today's architecture might be Delta Lake. You have some ETL and CDC, and you might get that data over into ClickHouse or Druid or Redis, whatever. And then you have applications. Basically, Databricks is saying, hey, don't pay those other people, pay us. We got Delta Lake. You have your Lakehouse RT engine right on top of it, and you can just do whatever you're going to do. They're saying no duplicate storage, no syncing pipelines, no additional serving clusters, no proprietary storage formats where you're shipping the data around, no duplicated governance. You get their point, all in one place, low latency on top of the Lakehouse. It's kind of a big deal. I think you should pay attention to this. That brings us to the second thing I think we should watch, and this is this whole LTAP, this sort of idea of unifying transactional and analytical storage on a single copy of the data, at least single copy to you. I think it's kind of hard to tell the difference between the Lakehouse RT and LTAP. If they're separate, if you can use one differently than the other one in a sense of how tied are the compute and storage. I think that's a big question for this RT engine, this Raiden. It sounds like if they built an engine to support this and that's sort of like its own thing, I'm assuming you can use that engine on top of, your current Lakehouse, at least as I understand it. If you're in Databricks, you have a Delta Lake Lakehouse, you can put this RT engine on top of it. And I think possibly you can get what we're talking about here. I don't know if you're required to have this LTAP, this unified transactional system on top of your single copy of data. I don't know how that works for existing people, existing architectures. Time will tell. I'll try it out like I do everything else and let you know. But that's the second thing, this whole idea that they're talking about of collapsing OLTP and OLAP into one thing, which I think is generally a good thing. I think it's a great thing for the data community. That's where we should be going to reduce complexity. Because typically in the past, right, we're shipping data around everywhere, different copies, getting it over into low latency systems. They're just saying, hey, have your single lake house and you don't even think about these different things. Even though they support that, right? They have Lakebase today, which is Postgres compatible operational data stores, and you have your Lakehouse today, and now they're saying we can somehow put those together and you can get both. Believe them that they say they can do it, so we'll see. Again, those are very simply the two things that I would pay attention to in the future. That's the big things from the Databricks Summit that I took away as someone who wasn't there. Think about the collapsing of the two different types of architectures, the OLTP and the OLAP, the analytical transaction. They're collapsing them into one somehow, and then also the real-time engine on top of the Lakehouse. Pretty sure they're probably going to work together pretty well. This kind of changes things, changes how people build things. It kind of changes how us as data engineers and as system designers, how we can think about designing systems. If it actually works out well, being able to architect platforms that are, a single platform, one-stop shop for transactional and analytical processing, especially the low latency, being able to serve our typical Spark queries and data pipelines, but also like real-time dashboards and other just real-time apps, whether it's AI or something else querying the Lakehouse. You don't have to ship that data around anymore. It could definitely reduce architecture complexity and make simplicity a thing. Yeah, it's exciting. I would watch those two things. Again, they released a bunch of stuff on AI. They released like Genie 1, Ontology, different stuff, etc. Genie Zero Ops, OnAgent, Unity AI Gateway, all this kind of stuff. It's just AI fluffily. They're great stuff, I'm sure, but that wasn't really my takeaway. That's a fast changing pace. I'm sure that stuff change quickly. But anyways, that was my thoughts. Let me know. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think of Databricks, what they're doing here. Do you agree, disagree? If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, share it. Thanks. See ya.